The Passover Mouse, written by Nelkin Wieder, illustrated by Shahar. The Passover Mouse. In a quiet village lived a lonely widow named Rivka. Every spring she prepared her house for Passover. All alone she scrubbed and polished and swept her tiny cottage. Rivka had to remove all leavened food, or chametz, down to the last breadcrumb. All alone she searched for any remaining crumbs the night before Passover. By the light of a candle, Rivka swept the final bits with a feather. All alone she piled the chametz on the table to be burned in her fireplace the next morning. At sunrise the next day, Rivka awoke and went to the kitchen to make a cup of tea. Suddenly, a white mouse darted out of its hole. Faster than Rivka could gasp, the mouse dashed up a table leg and climbed the mountain of chametz. At the tip top, the mouse seized a piece of bread in its mouth. Then it jumped off the table, scattering crumbs everywhere. Rivka grabbed her broom. "Stop! Thief!" The mouse ran into the street. Rivka rushed out the door, screaming, "A mouse! A mouse! Took bread out of my house!" Everyone in the village had just finished weeks of cleaning for Passover. Now, the runaway mouse could ruin all their hard work. Bread was not allowed in anyone's home during Passover, and the holiday would start soon. Menachem, the rabbi's youngest son, tried to catch the white mouse, but the little rodent scampered into the cobbler's house. Soon the cobbler and his wife rushed out the door screaming, "A mouse! A mouse! Brought bread into our house!" The cobbler shook his finger at Menachem and Rivka. "Now we'll have to search for chametz yet again." Rivka's face turned red as borscht. Suddenly, a black mouse scurried out of the cobbler's house with a piece of bread in its mouth. Did the black mouse take the bread away from the white mouse? Or did it find another piece of bread in the cobbler's house? Maybe the cobbler and his wife hadn't found all their bread. They all chased the black mouse, but it ran into the matchmaker's house. Soon, the matchmaker and her children rushed out of the door, screaming, "A mouse! A mouse! Brought bread into the house!" They scowled at the cobbler's wife, Menachem, and Rivka. "Now we'll have to search for chametz yet again." By this time, most of the village had come to see what was wrong. Just then, a cat leapt out of the matchmaker's house with a piece of bread in its mouth. "Look!" shouted a yeshiva student. "The cat must have swallowed the mouse and taken the very same piece of bread that the rodent brought into the house." "Then they won't have to search for chametz again," said Menachem. "But what if the cat did not swallow the mouse? The bread could still be in the house," cried the butcher. A great argument arose. Some claimed the homes must be searched again. Others said there was no need. "Let's ask the rabbi," Rivka suggested. The villagers knocked at the rabbi's door. "What's this all about?" asked the learned man. Rivka explained what had happened. "The Talmud will tell us what to do," said the rabbi. After consulting the book of Jewish laws, the great man said, "According to the sages," the people pressed closer to hear him speak. "This matter is undecided." The crowd moaned. "So, "What are we to do?" asked Rivka. The rabbi pulled on his beard. At last he said, "To be absolutely sure, all the homes invaded by the creatures carrying comets must be searched again." "Oy vey," the matchmaker wailed. "There's still much work to do before Seder tonight." Rivka said, "I must make the matzo balls and chop the apples and nuts for the carousel. And I only have a short time left to burn the comets. I'm all alone. How can I finish my work before sundown?" Menachem stepped forward. "I'll help you." The cobbler and his wife said, "We need help too." "If everyone pitches in, then the work will be done in no time," said Menachem. "A blessing on your head, my son." The rabbi turned to the villagers. "So, it is agreed?" The people called out, "Yes, we'll help." The rabbi assigned villagers to the homes in question. All together, they searched Rivka's cottage, burned the comets, and prepared the festive meal. Rivka was so pleased that she invited her helpers to stay for Seder. When it came time for the 4 questions, Menachem proudly chanted, "Ma nishtana." Why is this night different from all other nights? Rivka smiled. On all other nights her home was empty, but on this night it overflowed with friends. After retelling the story of Exodus, drinking the 4 cups of wine, and singing joyous songs of freedom, Rivka's visitors finally bade her good night. But before she went to sleep, Rivka remembered one last guest. On this night, even a thief shouldn't go to bed hungry. The end.